High school football, Sierra came into today's game against Denver East with a 2-0 record. They have outscored their opponents 109-0. Plenty of offense again for the Stallions, but it's the defense that does the scoring. Corey Krause blocks the punt. Otis Johnson scoops it up. He is in for the touch. 22-6 Sierra at that point. Tell you what, the fans loved it. On Sierra's next possession, they strike again. Lee Holloway gets the corner, cuts upfield. Forget about it. He is gone for the score. Sierra wins big over Denver East, 43-6. And Coronado shut out Harrison 45-0 in 5A, and in 3A, Manitou Springs beat Buena Vista 37.
Pomona Pitzer today in Colorado Springs. They're the winner over the Tigers 42-35. One high school football game to report in this afternoon. Sierra big time over Denver East. And
we've got three teams that are maybe sometime in the very near future about ready to crack the #1 spot in the state. We have three teams ranked #2 in the state in 3 different divisions. So there are a lot of area teams playing some good high school football early in the season, and we're going to focus on one of them this evening. Tonight we're going to look at our #2A2 team in 5A ball. That's the Sierra Stallions. Behind a veteran defense and an explosive offense, the Stallions have rolled through their first 3 opponents. And this afternoon, our guy Gerton spent some time with Coach Jim Smeltzer and his team.
You got to get that man, son. You got to stay outside. You cannot get caught up inside at any time.
the Stallions are off to another superb start, 3-0, ranked #2 in the state and co-leaders of the Class 5A South Central League.
We're just all committed. We're all in great conditioning, and we got the intensity and desire to win this year.
Our 58 bootleg pass. Our 58 bootleg pass.
Once again, Sierra is blessed with great speed. They are a young team, but determined. Although they lost several players, including top running back Pat Ingracia, to graduation, the offense has responded and is now #2 in the league. But the real story so far has to be the defense. 10 defensive starters are back from last year's team that went 11-2. It's no wonder that these guys, after 3 games this year, are the #1 ranked defense in the league.
They've been playing real strong ball. They've given up 1 touchdown in 3 games, and that's definitely our strength right now.
I think it's because, you know, we have such a family-type organization for defense. And that's why, you know, everybody knows each other's moves.
The rest of the South Central League should beware. This young, undefeated Stallion team can't help but improve with each week. Before it's over, they may well wind up better than last year's state semifinal team. At Sierra High School, Guy Gerton, Eyewitness Sports.
All right, Class 5A, the Cadets hosted #2 Sierra. Tell you what, Stallions are one tough team this year. Sierra's ground game doing it. Robert Johnson goes 12 yards to the 5-yard line. Air Academy's still smiling, but not for long. Next play, Mike Borgia scores. They missed the 2-point conversion. It was 34-6. The Stallions stay unbeaten, knocking off Air Academy 40-6. Down in
high school football, Sierra put its undefeated record on the line tonight at District 20 Stadium against Air Academy. Their record will remain undefeated. Big crowd on hand, too, at this game, and was over at halftime, really overpowering Sierra offense. Stallions win at 40-9. Defense has only given up 15 points this season so far. Tough loss for the Cadets. Sierra is now 4-0 on the season, and there's the final. Elsewhere, Wasson over.
All right, to the prep ranks we go. Big South Central League matchup between Sierra and Pueblo South. This was South's homecoming, and were they in for a rude awakening? Our Vince Greco has the story.
Dutch Clark Stadium looked like one big corral as the Colts and Stallions were both undefeated heading into today's contest. The Stallions rode their way to an early lead, a lead they would never relinquish. First time Sierra had the ball, Brian Bethel gallops 44 yards. The extra point is good. That made it 7-zip. After Sierra scored a couple more times on the ground, they air it out. Matt Nispel finds Lee Holloway. He makes a nice catch. Look at he sidesteps the tackler, 20 yards, 36-0, Sierra at the half. Traditionally, this cannon rings out every time South scores a point. Today, however, it was deathly silent. By halftime, Sierra had rained on the Colts' homecoming parade. Pueblo would eventually get on the scoreboard, but this one was a sleeper as Sierra remains undefeated. They win today 62-7.
When they're doing their jobs, it's easy for us. You know, my grandma can stand back there and throw touchdown passes, and a cripple could run 60 yards.
Vince Greco, Sports 13.
Oh, I like that. Let's check out other high school action. Harrison over Pueblo County today.
Smith back in the lineup. That's good news. High school football, the battle of the unbeatens in Class 5A took place at Dutch Clark Stadium today, and Sierra trounced Pueblo South 62-7. What a game for the Sierra Stallions in a rainy day in Pueblo today. And look at Sierra. These guys are unstoppable. Matt Nespel, the quarterback. Nice catch from Lee Holloway. And Lee dances down the sidelines in the mud, stays in bounds, and scores the touchdown. Sierra just could be for real. The Stallions are now 5-0. The Colts dropped to 4-1. Their first loss of the season. The Battles.
All right, to the Preps. There was bad blood today between unbeaten Sierra and Pueblo South. They got into a little skirmish during the pregame, and that may have helped the Stallions wake up. They roll 62-7. First quarter, Sierra quarterback Matt Nespel looks and finds a wide-open Mike Foamy for the touchdown. Sierra was on their way 16-0. Stallions not horsing around today. First play of the second quarter, Otis Johnson scores on the sweep, 22-0. They roll 62-7 thanks to a wake-up call by the Colts.
Conduct of the South team got us up, pretty juiced up during warm-ups, the way they treated us, and it kind of worked in a reverse role for them that they did that, and I can almost thank them for it.
High school, I'll tell you folks, Sierra is playing some serious football. In today's Class 5A battle of the unbeatens, the Stallions trounced Pueblo South 62-7. South's first loss. Rain in Pueblo made it muddy at Dutch Clark Stadium. That doesn't stop Sierra. Quarterback Matt Nispel to Lee Holloway. Nice catch, and then he tiptoes down the muddy sideline. Touchdown. Sierra is now 5-0. The Colts drop to 4-1. What a game, 62-7. Sierra continues to romp. Elsewhere in high school.
Tonight we continue our high school football scouting series with a look at the Sierra Stallions. They could go all the way. Jed Jackson has more.
The Stallions don't like taking bows, but the numbers don't lie. 11-2 last year, 5-0 this year, when Sierra has outscored opponents by an average of 50-4. One Rocky Mountain News writer called them the best high school team in Colorado, period. And they're deep.
We've been fortunate enough to have a rotating system where they play, doesn't make a difference what scores, they just roll in and out. And so our strength is our depth right now because we've acquired that in the first 5 games.
You're blaming the defense for a lot of your success.
Yeah, I am. I'm saying that if they keep playing like that, we may win another one.
The team really focuses together as a unit, as a family, and we've just been having a great time.
Next up for Sierra is 1-4 Centennial. They'll play at Harrison Stadium Saturday at 1.
Yeah, they just got back their starting quarterback, and they came up pretty strong against Central last week, and we're just going to have to take them just like South.
They took Pueblo South 62-7. That's right, South. I'm Jed Jackson, 11 Sports.
Mitchell falls to Whitefield in over.
The final vindicated Colorado who
Palmer in 5A 28-3. Sierra shut out Pueblo Centennial 48-0.
Cranberry 21. In prep football, the Sierra Stallions have been called the best team in any division this year, and they just might be. Today they steamrolled Pueblo Centennial to go 6-0, and that has been an easy 6-0 for these guys. What a game. Stallions have outscored their opponents by an average of 50-4 so far. They didn't let up today. Mike Borja bores in there for a 14-0 Sierra lead. Head coach Jim Smelser credits his defense above all this year. Terry Sammons, the ball is stripped from him, recovered by Scott Benz, led to another touchdown. Now, nice little reverse play here, faked out our camera and everybody else. Lee Holloway has the football, and he's gone. Score a 26-zip Stallions. Now, the play of the day, number 33, Bo Rankin, will not be denied. He breaks it for 85 yards. Nobody even close. He will be recruited by the cross-country coach tomorrow. The final score shows Sierra was uncontested today. They're ranked 2 in the state in 5A behind Longmont. Other scores, the Glads over the Marauders in OT at Widefield.
25 Arizona in a nail-biter, 28-21 over UCLA. A few high school scores that we have in at this point. Number 2, Sierra continues to roll. They blanked the Bulldogs 48-0. It's East by 2 over Pueblo County. Homecoming for the White.
In 5A action today, 42-7. Sierra shut out Harrison in 2A.
8 years. Or the Zips. And finally, we turn to prep football. Right now, 3 area teams have legitimate chances to win a state championship. Manitou Springs in Class 3A, and both Rampart and Sierra in the 5A division. Today, Sierra went to 7-0 by shellacking Harrison. The Stallions quick to capitalize on a bad punt snap. Otis Johnson picks up the loose ball, scores for Sierra, who led 15-0 at this early juncture. Another bad snap here, this time from scrimmage. Another opportunity taken by the Stallions. Robert Sousa goes down. A bunch of guys take possession. Plenty of offense by Sierra, too. This is Brian Bethel. He's on his way. This put the Stallions up 21-0, 28-zip at halftime. The final came out 62-0 Sierra, who was 7-0. Other high school action, the Glads decked the Spartans at Wide Field. The Wasson T-Bird over CC. Some high school scores. Sierra had a feast on East. The Glads outlasted Rangeview at Wide Field. The Cadets escaped the Palmer Terrors. The Marauders outclassed.
5A, Sierra handed it to
I should say. The Stallions remain undefeated today by beating Pueblo East 58-2. 58-2. Cold, blistery day, but perfect for the Stallions, running around through and over the Eagles. Coach Jim Smeltzer has put together quite a team this year. #1 offense in the league, #1 defense, and ranked #2 in the state. And they showed East just why they ranked those numbers to the high school scoreboard today. Sierra 58 and East 2. Elsewhere, Widefield a field goal better than.
They were so strong early. Other games, Sierra skunked Central. Stallions undefeated at 10-0. I could do some math. They've outscored their opponents in the last 3 games by a total of about 170-2, and that is a fact. Manitou Springs.
Game up. Sierra Stallions 6th shutout of the year. Over 500 points this season. Finished 10-0. Pueblo South over Pueblo County 21-zip.
Hey, we are knee-deep in the high school football playoffs. This afternoon, Sierra kept on rolling. They hammered Adams City 55-6. Alex Molden goes right up the middle. That gave Sierra a 7-0 lead. Then it's Brian Bethel on the long touchdown run. Nice cutback move there, and he is gone. No one will catch him. Sierra moves on in 5A action. 55-6 over Adams City. Elsewhere in
the final game of the year in Greeley today. Well, in high school ball, more playoff action today in all classes. Here's how it all came out. Wide Field still alive after leveling Chatfield. That's in the 6A division. But Green Mountain ended Coronado's spectacular season, 24-6 the count there. Sierra continued to pound all comers. They trashed Adams City in Class 4A. The Stallions move on. Columbine.
High school state playoffs in full force today, and in Class 5A, the second-ranked Sierra Stallions continue to roll, whipping Adams City 55-6.
You don't get down, you don't give up, you never give up!
Well, Adams City did not give up, but they turned the ball over several times. Fumble here, recovered by Lee Holloway. Goodbye touchdown, and the crowd at Harrison Field loved it today. Sierra not done, busts up the middle for another touchdown. Goodbye. The route was on. Sierra wins it 55-6 and stays alive in the playoffs.
Second half, our defense played tremendously well. They scored 2 early touchdowns in the third quarter. Offense picked up on big plays, fed off the defense, and we ended up playing a very excellent football game.
Coach Smeltzer happy today. There's the final. Green Mountain at Coronado.
While we're on the subject, the Colorado High School football playoffs continue today. 4 local teams won their games and stayed alive in the tournament. Among them, Widefield. The Glad stopped Chatfield today and moved on to the second round. Green Mountain leveled Coronado, though. A Cougar season nonetheless. Elsewhere, the Sierra Stallions trampled another pretender. Sierra unbeaten, untied, unchallenged this year. Columbine knocked off the watch.
It's going to take over.
7. Now in the preps, they swung into playoff action in a big way today. Nothing's changed for Sierra, though. The Stallions keep rolling along, beating Adams City 55-6. Didn't take Sierra long to get it going. Alex Molden goes right up the middle for the score. It is 7-0. Now, a little later on, it's Brian Bethel. Watch the great cutback he makes. And after that, no one's going to catch him. Sierra moves on in 5A action, 55-6 over Adams City. Elsewhere, it was Columbine beating Wasson. Broomfield knocked off Pueblo South. Green Mountain knocked off
40 points. High school state playoffs in full force today, and in Class 5A, the second-ranked Sierra Stallions continue to roll, whipping Adams City 55-6.
You don't get down, you don't give up, you never give up!
Well, Adams City did not give up, but turned the ball over costly times. Lee Holloway for Sierra gets the fumble and goes all the way into the end zone, and the crowd at Harrison Field today on a beautiful day had to love their Sierra Stallions. Brian Bethel busts up the middle. Nobody will get him. He goes all the way in for the touchdown. Sierra wins it 55-6.
Second half, our defense played tremendously well. They scored 2 early touchdowns in the third quarter. Offense picked up on big plays, fed off the defense, and we ended up playing a very excellent football game.
Coach Jim Smelser, that final again. Sierra still undefeated on the season as they advance. Green Mountain also in 5A.
4 local teams are alive in the state football playoffs: Canyon City, Whitefield, Manitou Springs, and the powerful Sierra Stallions. Tonight, Jed Jackson looks at Sierra as they prepare for their second-round game.
Average size, excellent speed, solid front lines, and lots of seniors. Just a few of the reasons why Sierra is 11-0 with 6 shutouts. A Denver Post columnist called it the best team in Colorado at any level. It's high praise, but the Stallions care more about deeds than words.
One thing, you don't rely on what we've done in the past. We have to earn what we're doing now, and we know we're in a situation, if you don't win Saturday, we're not going to be here Monday. So the focus is really not that difficult if you know that every game is like sudden death overtime.
How do you keep a team that's outscored its opponents 592-30 from getting cocky?
Well, we come out here on practice, and then it works out on games day. You know, we work for every point. I mean, no team give us points. We work for every point in every yard.
So it's unbeaten Sierra versus 8-3 Thomas Jefferson, the defending state champion. The kickoff is set for Saturday at 1 at Denver Public School Stadium. I'm Jed Jackson, 11 Sports.
Well, the 2 best teams in blue.
Well, time to switch gears, crank it down a notch or two to the high school level, where the state playoffs abound nationwide. In our neck of the woods, it happened thus. A most unexpected outcome. Who'd have thought the Stallions could be had? Their incredible season ends abruptly at the hands of defending state champion TJ Sierra, finishing 11-1. They were skunked today, but the Manitou Mustangs continue to carry the torch.
Well, it was a rough day for area high school football teams in the playoffs. Both Whitefield and Sierra were losers up in Denver in quarterfinal action. Pick it up in Class 6A. Whitefield taking on Horizon. Hawk quarterback Jake Loeb keeps it on the rollout. He gets in for the score. 10-0 in the first. Horizon really aired it out in the second quarter. Loeb to Todd Baker. Horizon knocks off Whitefield 33-23. All right, let's move to Class 5A. Unbeaten Sierra hooking up with Thomas Jefferson. Stallions self-destructed. They were held scoreless today after averaging over 50 points a game during the regular season. TJ got the final points late in the fourth. Andy Ledbetter gets in for the touch. The Spartans knock off Sierra 19-0. In 4A action, it was Trinidad beating Moffett County.
Area teams in the state playoffs today, only one could manage a win. The Manitou Springs Mustangs, Sierra, Whitefield, and Canyon City all suffered losses today. It was a tough day for our area teams. Second-ranked Sierra, quarterback sacked. They could not get on the board, scored nothing. Thomas Jefferson, meanwhile, put it on ice late in the game. They win it 19-0. Whitefield, meanwhile, in Class 6A, jumped out to a 2 scoreboard now. First in Class 6A, there it is. Horizon wins it by 10. In Class 5A, Thomas Jefferson shuts out the Stallions. Class 4A, Sterling ends Canyon City's